Let's just keep it let's keep it a 100, as the kids say in here. Let's keep it 100, as the kids say. And I'm talking about, yes, the personnel people, the front offices, the leadership in this league, because you see this kind of thing and you just shake your head. You're like, well, wow, that doesn't seem like there's a lot of basketball that went into those decisions. You may be like, Rhodes, what decisions? Well, there's a good chance.
The WNBA General Manager Survey has been released, and the results have sparked significant debate among fans and analysts who feel the voting does not reflect on-court performance data. The annual poll asks league executives a range of questions about player rankings, MVP predictions, and franchise-building preferences, and several of the outcomes have drawn sharp criticism from those who believe analytics should carry more weight in these assessments. On the question of which player a general manager would select first if building a franchise from scratch, Dallas Wings guard Paige Bueckers received the highest number of votes. The result is notable because that same distinction belonged to Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark just 1 year ago, following her Rookie of the Year campaign. Both Bueckers and Clark are 24 years old.
Like, Rhodes, what decisions? Well, there's a good chance you know if you clicked on the video, but the WNBA General Manager Survey has come out. And my, they just forgot Caitlin Clark even existed. Guys, let us understand something. If the entire rest of the league feels this way, how the hell do you think the Indiana Fever feel? Their front office.
In the 2025 season, Clark averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game across her 13 appearances. Gray, over 44 games, averaged 11 points, 5.4 assists, and 3.9 rebounds. Across every major statistical category, Clark's per-game numbers exceed Gray's by a notable margin, which has made the 73% result difficult for analytically minded observers to reconcile. On the MVP front, 60% of general managers selected A'ja Wilson as their choice for the 2026 award. Wilson also received top votes at both the forward and center positions, making her the survey's most decorated player overall.
Their front office. More so, let's just take a look at their coach. Her preferences. Just throwing it out there. Checking all the right boxes. Wow, is there anything that a Stephanie White and a Paige Bueckers has in common? Oh, comes into the league. White. Black girl.
Breanna Stewart and Jonquel Jones received votes at the big positions but were edged out in the final tallies. For the shooting guard category, Jackie Young led the voting, with Bueckers and Gray following behind, and Sabrina Ionescu placing fourth, an outcome that some analysts found surprising given Ionescu's production history. In the coaching category, Cheryl Reeve received 53% of the vote for best coach in the league, followed by Becky Hammon at 40%. The broader reaction to the survey centers on a recurring argument that WNBA executive decision-making does not always align with measurable performance metrics. Clark's absence from the top of the point guard rankings despite her statistical profile has reinforced that perception for a segment of the fan base and media.
Black girlfriend. Are the boxes being checked as far as you're concerned? Are the alarm bells going off? There's a reason why so many people will not give this league the time of day. And it's because of things just like this. Just like this. And the Chelsea Gray thing?
For Clark specifically, this is not the first time she has found herself undervalued in formal league evaluations, despite the numbers suggesting otherwise. Analysts expect the results will serve as additional motivation as she enters what is expected to be her first full healthy season since her rookie year. The ongoing pattern of dismissing Caitlin Clark in league rankings needs to either stop entirely or accelerate, because if the GM survey results are any indication, Clark is heading into this season with every reason to prove a point. Whether the snubs register as a personal slight in an emotional sense is debatable, but the reaction they are likely producing is one of quiet, focused motivation, the kind that shows up in performance rather than in post-game comments.
Like this. And the Chelsea Gray thing is one of the most baffling. As I sat back and I watched her play, and I've seen her play many times, it's one of the most baffling things I've ever seen. The amount of glaze that is on that player across the league and from the old fandom of this league, it's baffling to me. It truly is. I don't get it. What am I supposed to be watching?
The survey results border on absurdist at times. If those same GMs were asked to name the best transition player in the league, there is a reasonable suspicion they would hand the vote to someone whose running speed is not a notable attribute. The pattern of omission is that consistent. One of the more overlooked details in the entire document is the age question. Paige Bueckers is older than Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark basically dominates her. So general managers were asked who would they start a franchise with. Paige Bueckers got the most votes. Dallas Wings guard Paige Bueckers got the most votes as the player WNBA general managers would have picked if they were starting a franchise today. The league's GM survey revealed Tuesday. Before last season, that
Bueckers is also older than Aaliyah Boston, yet GMs would build a franchise around Bueckers over Clark without hesitation. The injury history argument gets raised in these conversations, but the comparison does not favor Bueckers there either. Bueckers missed 2 full college seasons due to injury. Clark missed roughly 3 months.
The league's GM survey revealed Tuesday. Before last season, that nod went to Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark, coming off a Rookie of the Year campaign, as Bueckers is now. A'ja Wilson and Clark were second with 20% of the vote. Wilson is 29, Bueckers and Clark are 24. Clark was limited to 13 games. So, all of these general managers are telling you that
those are different situations. On the question of which players force opponents to make strategic adjustments, the absence of Clark near the top is strange. The only player with a stronger argument for that category might be Alyssa Thomas, because at least opposing teams consistently choose to single cover A'ja Wilson, a decision that never made much tactical sense. Kelsey Mitchell receiving recognition in that category is also hard to justify at Clark's expense. The basketball IQ results deserve serious scrutiny.
General managers are telling you they would rather have Paige Bueckers than Caitlin Clark if they were starting themselves a franchise. Wow. So, that brings us over to, how about this year's best point guards? This is baffling. I can't even explain it. I do not understand it. I don't get it.
1 year ago, Chelsea Gray sat at 36% in that category. This past survey, she climbed to 93% following a season where she averaged 11 points per game and was deployed primarily as a power forward by the finals. The jump in vote share came despite no all-star selection and a clear shift away from any traditional point guard role. There is a useful way to think about passing ability that clarifies the gap between Gray and Clark. A capable passer can execute difficult passes. Gray does this.
Feels personally slighted by this in a way that's like in a way that's gonna actually, like, she's upset about it. I think she feels personally slighted in a way of she's like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Because you better believe the GMs are like,
a flashy passer makes straightforward passes appear spectacular. Gray does this too. A genuinely elite passer makes spectacular passes appear routine. That last description fits Clark. Comparing Gray to Clark on this basis and giving the edge to Gray is roughly equivalent to arguing that White Chocolate was a more effective passer than Steve Nash. The comparison does not hold up.
Like, if the GMs were asked who the best transition player in the WNBA was, they would probably vote a player that can't run. Like, it is one of these things where I've never seen anything like it. Like, the Indiana Fever didn't even get best young core. I don't think people
The point guard designation is worth addressing directly. Buchers does not play point guard in any meaningful positional sense. Her presence near the top of that category is a product of general reputation rather than positional accuracy. Placing her ahead of Clark in a category Clark actually owns is its own kind of oversight. That said, Buchers landing near the top of the shooting guard tier alongside Jackie Young is not an unreasonable outcome that at least reflects the position she actually occupies.
The Indiana Fever didn't even get best young core. I don't think people realize that Paige Beckers is older than Caitlin Clark. And not only that, Paige Beckers is older than Leah Boston. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, Caitlin Clark had a significantly better rookie year than Paige. Paige is older than Caitlin. But you'll start a franchise with Paige. And you want to say, oh, what about the injuries? Well, yeah, Paige Beckers missed 2 college seasons through.
Looking ahead to this season, the MVP conversation could very realistically come down to Clark and Buchers. Both players are projected to average above 20 points per game. Clark figures to either lead the league in assists or finish very close to the top. Buchers is positioned to compete for the scoring title while also ranking in the top 10 in assists. Clark will likely top the league in assists while placing in the top 10 in scoring.
With Paige. And you want to say, oh, what about the injuries? Well, yeah, Paige Beckers missed 2 college seasons through injuries. Caitlin Clark missed 3 months through injuries. A bit different. Who forces opposing players to make the most adjustments? I cannot believe Caitlin Clark I cannot believe Kelsey Mitchell. And by adjustments is put our fastest player on Kelsey Mitchell and pray. I cannot believe. Alyssa Thomas is the only player that should be higher than Caitlin Clark because teams just single coverage Asia Wilson.
The statistics that Chelsea Gray posts this...
It never made any sense to me. This one's crazy. A year ago, Chelsea Gray, 36%. I think Alyssa Thomas was there, Caitlin was there, and now it is out on her own. Chelsea Gray's best basketball IQ. Chelsea Gray, if I'm passing the ball there's a mirror like 6 feet away from me. If Chelsea Gray is to make that pass, she might jump in the air, spin the ball around her head,
The one category where a case for Gray holds genuine merit is clutch shot making, based on her 2022 playoff performance. That legacy is real and worth acknowledging. The broader argument, though, returns to the rookie season comparison. Even accounting for the injury that shortened Clark's 2024 campaign to fewer than 44 games, the case that she had the stronger debut is not particularly difficult to make.
In the air, spin the ball around her head, spin the ball around her back, go behind the back, through the legs, while somehow 360ing, putting some spin on the ball and bouncing it, instead of going directly to you, bouncing it so that it bounces near the sideline and it kicks all the way back to you. That is what she does. I always make this statement. A good passer can make difficult passes. That is what Chelsea Gray can do that. I have no doubt about that.
Extend her production across a full schedule, even on the same shooting splits that critics point to, and the cumulative value of her floor spacing, gravity, and game-altering impact still outweighs what Buchers produced across a complete season. Clark shot more efficiently from 2-point range, 3-point range, and the free throw line. She averaged more assists, more rebounds, and more blocks. Her team won twice as many games.
I have no doubt about that. I have absolutely no doubt about that. A flashy passer makes easy passes look spectacular. That is what Chelsea Gray does. A great passer makes spectacular passes look easy. That is what Caitlin Clark does. There are levels difference. It is like saying that white chocolate was a better passer than Steve Nash.
She set an all-time single-season assists record. She managed a comeback victory almost entirely on her own effort in the final game before her injury, despite a slow start. Buchers did not produce a comparable moment across the entire season. The explanation for why this gets lost is straightforward. Short-term memory operates on recent impressions, and the last image most people carry of Clark is a 16.9 assist average while dealing with injury.
Not the case. It is not true at all. And not only that, the best point guard in the W. And I mean this, Paige Beckers is not a point guard. So, because she's thereabouts as best two guard with Jackie Young, that's not too bad. But I would rather see Paige Beckers be top in a position she's not best at, even though she does technically play the point guard, start the point guard, than see, like, you're going to see Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark